Some adults walk into their family home and suddenly forget how old they are. The door closes behind them. The air feels heavier. The tone of voices shifts. They have a job. They pay bills. They make decisions every day. But the moment they step inside that house, something changes. Their shoulders tighten. Their breath becomes shallow. Their voice becomes softer. They stop feeling like an adult. They feel like a child again. Not a happy child. Not a playful child. A careful child. A quiet child. A child who is watching, listening, waiting. From the outside, it does not make sense. People say things like, "You are grown now. That was a long time ago. Just ignore it. Why do you act so different around your family?" But the body does not work on logic. The body works on memory. And some homes do not feel like home to the nervous system. They feel like the place where you learned how to survive. Many adults who still feel like a child at home do not understand why this happens. They tell themselves they are being dramatic. They tell themselves they should be over it by now. They tell themselves nothing bad is happening anymore. But their body disagrees, because the body remembers what the mind learned to forget. It remembers the tone of voices. It remembers the silence after conflict. It remembers the feeling of walking on eggshells. So even years later, the nervous system reacts as if danger is still present. This is not immaturity. This is conditioning. When a child grows up in a home where love is unpredictable, the child learns something very early. They learn that safety depends on behavior. They learn that being too loud can cause trouble, that asking questions can create tension, that having feelings can make things worse. So they adapt. They become observant. They become emotionally intelligent. They become careful. They learn when to speak and when to stay quiet. They learn how to read moods. They learn how to disappear without leaving the room. This is not weakness. This is survival. But survival has a cost, because that child never learned how to relax. They never learned how to take up space safely. They never learned that love does not require performance. So when they grow up, their body still follows the same rules, especially at home. Home is where the nervous system learned its first lessons. So home becomes the strongest trigger. That is why an adult can feel confident at work, calm with friends, and strong in the outside world. But the moment they return home, they feel small again. Their posture changes, their voice changes, their personality shifts. They may feel like they need permission. Permission to speak, permission to rest, permission to be themselves. They might notice that they become people-pleasing, or overly quiet, or emotionally numb. They may feel watched, even when no one is watching. They may feel tense for no clear reason. This is the nervous system returning to its earliest programming. Psychology calls this emotional regression. Trauma therapists call it nervous system memory. It happens when your body associates a place with threat, even if the threat is no longer obvious. Your mind might know you are safe, but your body does not believe it yet. So it prepares for danger. This is why some adults feel exhausted after visiting family. They do not argue. They do not fight. Nothing dramatic happens, and yet they leave feeling drained. That exhaustion is not random. It is the cost of staying alert, the cost of monitoring yourself, the cost of suppressing who you are. Many adults who feel like a child at home learned that being themselves made others uncomfortable. So they learned to shrink. They learned to be easy. They learned to not ask for too much. They learned to not need too much. They learned to be strong quietly. And the hardest part is that this often happened in families that looked normal. There may not have been obvious abuse. There may not have been constant yelling. But there was emotional unpredictability, love that came with conditions, affection that disappeared when you disappointed someone, tension that had to be earned. So the child learned that connection was fragile. And when connection is fragile, the body stays alert. That alertness does not disappear with age. It follows you into adulthood, especially when you return to the same environment where you learned it. This is why setting boundaries at home can feel terrifying. Even small boundaries feel dangerous. Saying no feels like rebellion. Speaking honestly feels like disrespect. Protecting yourself feels like betrayal. Because as a child, boundaries were not safe. They caused conflict. They caused withdrawal of love. They caused emotional punishment. So your body learned that safety came from compliance. And now, as an adult, your body still follows that rule, even when it no longer serves you. This creates an internal conflict. Your adult mind knows you deserve respect, but your nervous system believes that asserting yourself will cost you love, so you feel stuck, like two versions of you exist at the same time. The capable adult you are everywhere else, and the careful child you become at home. This can be deeply confusing. It can make you doubt yourself. You may ask, why am I like this? Why can't I just be normal around my family? Why do I feel weak here? But this is not weakness. This is a learned response. And learned responses can be unlearned. But first, they need to be understood. Feeling like a child at home does not mean you are immature. It means your nervous system is protecting you the only way it knows how. By making you small, by keeping you quiet, by reducing risk. Because at one point in your life, this strategy kept you safe, even if it cost you parts of yourself. Healing does not begin with confrontation. It does not begin with forcing yourself to feel different. Healing begins with awareness, with noticing what happens in your body when you are at home. The tight chest, the shallow breath, the urge to disappear. Those sensations are not flaws. They are messages. They are telling you that your body does not feel safe enough to relax. And safety is not created by logic. It is created through experience. This is why many adults only begin to heal after creating distance. Distance does not mean hatred. Distance does not mean you do not care. Distance sometimes means giving your nervous system space to reset. When the body is no longer constantly triggered, it can finally rest. And when the body rests, clarity appears. You begin to see how tense you were. You begin to notice patterns you could not see before. You begin to trust that what you felt was real. That validation is powerful. Because many adults who feel like a child at home were told their feelings were wrong. Too sensitive, too dramatic, too much. So they learned to doubt themselves. Healing is learning to trust your internal experience again, to believe your body, to honor what you feel without asking permission. As you heal, you may grieve. Not only your childhood, but the version of yourself you never got to be. The relaxed child, the expressive child, the child who did not have to earn love. That grief can be heavy, but it is also a sign that you are finally safe enough to feel, and that is progress. Over time, something shifts. You may still feel triggered at home, but you recover faster. You may still feel small sometimes, but you notice it without shame. You begin to respond instead of react. You begin to choose yourself quietly, and that is how the child inside you begins to grow, not by forcing adulthood, but by finally receiving safety. Because when a child feels safe, growth happens naturally, and one day, you may walk into that same home. You will still remember, but your body will not collapse. You will feel your feet on the ground, your breath in your chest, your age in your body. You will not disappear. You will not shrink. You will still be gentle, but you will also be present. That is not forgetting the past. That is integrating it. And if you are not there yet, that is okay. Healing is not a race. You survived first. Now, you are learning how to live. And that takes time. If no one ever told you this, hear it now. You are not broken. You are not weak. You adapted to an environment that required you to be someone else. And now you are learning how to come back to yourself. That is not regression. That is courage. And that is the beginning of freedom. You were not failing at being an adult. You were surviving a place that never made you feel safe enough to grow. And now that you are learning to feel safe, something may feel unfamiliar. You may feel softer, more emotional, more sensitive than before. That does not mean you are going backwards. It means your nervous system is no longer in survival mode. You are not becoming weaker. You are becoming real. You are not losing strength. You are finally dropping armor you were never meant to wear forever. That child who learned to shrink did not disappear. They learned how to endure. And now, they are learning something new. They are learning that safety can exist without silence. That love does not require fear. That being yourself is not dangerous anymore. That is not regression. That is healing. That is coming home to yourself. And if no one ever told you this before, hear it now. You were never broken. You adapted. And now, you are free enough to become who you always were.